Okay, everybody. Sorry, this is a late start. Just having some issues with the computer and issues with trying to get on. So I am bringing this to you, so that we have um, a live class going on starting right now. We are going to be talking about um, how to make certain uh, templates in Muse Score, namely those in Muse Score 3.5, which is now supported by Mac OS Catalina. So I have this. So if you have Muse Score, great. If you don't, go ahead and go to uh, musescore.org/en, and you'll be able to go there and click the download button, and actually go to download the Muse Score, because you're going to need this to actually um, start. You're going to need this to actually start your project, because we're going to do a number of different things uh, on this live video. So hopefully this is good for you. All right, so let me share the screen. So when it first comes up in MuseScore 3.5, it looks sort of similar to all the other versions of this program that we have. And note, this is a free program. You don't have to pay anything for it. It's open source. So um, you can have the untitled page that's underneath this start menu open, but you will generally have the Start Center open first. And what I like to do is I like to click the plus, and it's going to tell you to create a new score. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, maybe just put the subtitle, not the title, orchestral template. You can put your composer name if you like. If it's just, since it's primarily just a template, we're just going to leave those blank. And then go on to the instruments and the create new score dialog box. Okay. It'll say choose a template file. You can choose from pre-selected templates. Or you could do nothing selected. You could do chamber, string quartet, wind quartet. This is for quick start. These are templates that you can quick start and edit at your leisure. These are guitar solo instruments plus tablature, piano. Here's the jazz ones, jazz lead sheet, big band, jazz combo, popular ones, and band and percussion, concert band, small concert band, brass band, marching band, small marching band, battery percussion, percussion line, large pit percussion, small pit percussion template, European concert band, that's a little different. Or you can go to the orchestral ones. Classical orchestra is the short one. Namely, you'd see this in like the early composers like Bach and Beethoven and Mozart. They use smaller orchestras to fit it on the page. Um, this is what you would see in a modern symphony orchestra, this template, or you just have string orchestra here. So they do have quite a bit of pre-done, pre-packaged templates for you to choose from. But if you're not wanting to do that, you can go up here, go choose instruments. And you can go continue, and then it'll have different instrument groups, different instrument families based on what you're looking for. So if we're doing, let's see, if we're doing marching band per se, if you're making your own marching band template, this is where you would go. You click marching band, and you would actually go to woodwinds. Make sure that arrow drops down. Here's all your instrument choices. And you just click add. Flute, you can add that one. And you could do clarinet add. Also, I wanted to show you something on this. If you click this down here, also this, if you click, let's go ahead and remove this one. If you click this staff right here, it'll have flute for this as your instrument on the staff, and then it'll have staff number 1. And you could actually say add linked staff or add staff. So if you add staff, that'll be 2 flutes. Let's say, let's remove that. And if you wanted to go to staff 1 and say add linked staff, that will basically link the 2 flute parts as one. So you'll have flute on the side, the left side of the score, and then you've got like a line or a bracket or a brace around the 2 staves that are linked, and that'll show you, okay, these 2 are in this flute family. Makes it easier for grouping instruments and families, which is what you would do in big band or marching band templates or anything like that, orchestral, anything like that. You would want linked staves. Same thing with the clarinet. If I wanted to add a linked staff, I could just go and click staff 1 and then add linked staff, do it. And note, it won't, add linked staff button won't come up unless you click the staff staff :1, staff :2. You can even do that. Let's say we want 3 clarinets and then we want B flat bass clarinet, we just want 1. So you're going to click this add button. And then if we're wanting, I don't want soprano sax, let's go to alto saxophone. If you want that one, go that one. If we wanted to do a second link staff for the alto sax, 2 alto sax parts, we just go add link staff, make sure the staff :1 is checked, and then the add link staff button will appear. Let's go to tenor sax and add that. Baritone, add that. Now we're going to the brass. So we want our horn and F. We want to click the staff, add link staff. I'm going to add staff 4 of those. then B flat trumpet, click staff :1, add link staff to that. So we have 2 trumpets. And then let's see, trombone, click add. You want to add link staff, click the staff, add link staff, and then bass trombone, euphonium, click add, tuba, maybe we want a sousaphone in here, and then maybe this can go up. So there we go. Now we have our brass. Now we're looking at our percussion. We want to go down here, timpani. You can either click twice, actually, or you can say add up here. And then we do want a xylophone. Add. We want glockenspiel, add. And then we want percussion, marching. Now we don't want drum set, and we don't want concert stuff. We want marching stuff because this is a marching band template, so we're going to want this. Percussion, marching, snare drum, click add, or double click the instrument. Tenor drums, bass drums. Any of these, if you wanted to create your own version, you can pick from these. I'm not going to go ahead and do it. I'm just going to go strings plucked. You can do electric guitar or bass guitar. If you want to do a rock version of a marching band, you could do that as well. But I'm just going to go ahead and click continue. The next window you will come to is the key signature. So key signature is very, very important here. You have to create your score using either blank key signature or one of these, or open atonal. So you can go either or with this. Good keys for marching would include F and B flat. So I'm going to just go B flat for now, 2 flat key signature. Click continue. And we want 4/4, or we can have the common time symbol. So we're creating time signature and tempo. If we wanted a pickup measure, we could specify it by clicking that box and then clicking however many beats we want. And we don't, let's just say we don't want pickup measure for this one, but it's there if you do want it. Next thing is enter number of measures. I think most programs go to 31, 32 measures that's pretty standard. But you can actually, go up, do the up arrow, or go down. I'm just going to do 40. And the last thing is the tempo. Now, I like to set this before I start writing because it's really hard to do it once you've started. but you can do it once you've actually created the score, and I'll show you how to do that too. So go ahead once you have all this information and click Done. Okay, well, you could change this to marching template since there are no strings. Just go and select the text. And then here you have your template here. Okay, so normally the prefabricated, the pre-done templates will have brackets in the that to denote the differences in the instrument families. But if you're making your own, you kind of have to do it on your own. So to do this, you're going to go on this left side palette here. And we're going to find, it should have a thing detailing brackets, brackets and braces and things like that. Sometimes you have to click through them. Bar lines. Nope. Oh, and this just came up. If you don't have the palettes that you want, you can always add them. Just click Add Palettes in the top left. Where it says Palettes, go down below and click Add Palettes, and it will add those palettes for you so that you have those added. So now we have brackets. That's the palette that we want. And to make this stick, what we're going to do, we're going to take this vertical line. Oops. You're supposed to be able to put it right there. But the best thing to do is to hover this over. You can always delete it and respace it when you want to redo. When you want to redo it. Let's see. Why don't we click Control? So let's say, oh gosh, there's flute, there's piccolo. Now, oh, you have to be inside the measure. So if you have trouble putting it, you have to have it inside the measure in order for it to go. And the one difference between Muse Score and maybe Finale that I don't really like about Muse Score is that you always have to play around with it. You always have to hover until the green plus goes, and that way you know, okay, what to do there. So what you'll do, what I like to do is put these lines and just put them all in here. Wait till the green plus comes in. That way you're able to actually stick it on there. That green plus symbol is also very important in many different toolbars with this. If you, for instance, need to put notes in there, or put a slur, or put ties or anything like that, that plus any sort of ornaments or building blocks, you have to do it this way, especially when working with palettes. That's what I've found. And you have to wait until it does it. So that's basically how we do that part of it. And then we go down, we can go to bracket, not a brace. I'm going to go to square. And I'm going to make sure, well, and how you make it go down is you actually click it. And if it helps, double click the bottom of this line right here. If you have to, go Command plus in order to actually see where you're clicking. All right, you don't want it to go all blue. You want this gray square to appear. Okay, maybe we don't need the square. Here's clarinet. So you need to double click it in order to put the square there where it needs to be. So 3 clarinets, 1, 2, 3. So that's it. Actually, you can always undo if you make a mistake. Command Z. So I had 2 flutes here. And I think I have 3 clarinets plus a bass clarinet. I think that's what I decided. If you need to check your, layout, you can press the I key, just the I key, and you can go, okay, this is what I picked. Or if you wanted to add instruments, that's what you can click, the I key. All right, and then go ahead and close that. So I have 3 B-flat clarinets and 1 bass clarinet, kind of big. All right, so remember, double click. And sometimes I think I even have to really smooth it in, because otherwise I can't make it longer. All right, so I've done that one. Now let's do the bass clarinet one. I'm just going to put this in a group. And then in addition to that line, what we want to do is we want to put a bracket, not a brace, but a bracket in. We want that gray box to go down. So double click the bottom of the bracket. Okay, there you go. And then let's do the same thing with the flutes. Go take a bracket, hover it over the measure till the green plus comes in. Okay, double click until the gray, there's like a gray box. There's a holder that actually comes up on the bottom. And you click that until it's ready. Okay, so there you go. There's flutes, clarinets. Here we go. Now we're going to edit our alto saxophones. And our tenor. And our baritone sax. So then we have horn and F. Double click the line so you can drag it down. And you notice that not all of the things have, they don't all have they don't all have the instrument name next to each staff. That's because we did a link staffs. So when we do link staffs, what happens is you get a group at the top of the group, the top left, you get the name of the instrument family or name of the instrument group, and then you have your other staffs that are linked to that. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and check this out. See if that no. Let's go here. Now, if you wanted to add a line like this, same thing, double click. Whoa. Yeah, double click. And then, and raise it up just a little. Now you can put your bracket in. Now we're going to do this. Oop. Okay, double click, go down. There we go. Okay, so that's how we make that one. Let's go ahead and make this bracket. Yeah. There we go. So there we have it. I don't know why it goes. So there we go. We have our, that part is pretty much underway. Now you notice that the paper is too big, or the paper is too small, and the gotta make the view go less. There we go. So you notice that the view is a little bit distorted with the staves. So what we want to do is we want to do this. We want to go to paper, page view. Here's continuous view. This is what this looks like. until the end of the piece. It's kind of like scroll view in Finale. If you guys ever worked with Finale, you'd know that. Format. You can go over here, page settings. Okay, this is where we can work with the page size. And let us see, we don't want a huge one. It's on A4 right now. So what we want, let's go tabloid. Click apply. Okay. Let's get into, go back up here, go to page view. And see, whoop, cut off our stuff again. So we're gonna have to do some work to make the stab system smaller. So let's do that. See if we can do. Well, we don't want it. We don't want it too close to one another. Let's see if we can make it the distance between the stabs a little bit. Yeah. So if you go to Format, Page Settings, and you try to make it a little bit less, the staff space, the scaling on the staff spacing a little bit less, then you'll be able to, you have to play with it. So you'd make it a little bit easier. And then okay. So that's kind of what you want. Okay, so I have that template. So now you can continue to group your instrument families, and then you could go ahead and start, putting stuff together. But I do want to show you something else. I want to show you, I'm just going to go titled, whatever. I'm going to do an orchestral one, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do symphony orchestra. Continue. You can always select from these pre-chosen ones if you want. And done. So if I were to add this, and actually the bracket goes first, and then the line for each of the stabs. So I may have made a mistake on that one. So let's go back to Untitled 2, and I'm going to go ahead and rejigger these. I'm going to redo them. So yeah, if you need a template guide, you can always check. You could always check the pre-made templates to see if you are in the ballpark or not. So yeah, I'm going to redo, since I was having trouble deleting them. That's the only hard part, is I'm still trying to figure out how to delete. those things. But if you wanted to add instruments, let's say if you wanted to add something, is there anything that's not added? I know. On this orchestra template, we can add piano to this. Click I. It'll give you the layout of all the staff. And then let's go to keyboards and add. So it'll add it after the contrabasses are added, so you can click the up arrow as many times as needed. It usually goes after the harp and before the strings. So go ahead and go OK. There you go. And there's your format. All right. Let's try one more. I think we're going to try one more template, and then we're going to have to call it quits. Let's go continue. Choose instruments. If we wanted to make our own woodwind choir, so piccolo, flute, flute, clarinet, clarinet, and also remember, we can also do this. We can go link staff by clicking staff :1, add link staff. Then we're going to go clarinet. You're going to add one, then go to add link staff. So we're doing a little bit of a woodwind choir here. So we're going to add a staff here. And then you can go ahead and add bassoons. Add link staff here. And then horn and F is usually in. It's usually in the woodwind choir because it's not as silvery and as brassy as the other brass instruments. So it is actually in there. Okay, so continue. Now you're going to click your key signature. I'm just going to go C major, no sharps, no flats. Here we go, 4/4 time. Done. Okay, here we have our woodwind choir. And now again, you're going to have your, let's do your brackets first. Double click, square at the bottom, flute section, clarinet section, double click. Ooh, I think I did. Undo, undo. This one, I want to group the piccolo and the flute in the same one. So let's do this. Key signature change indicates it's a transposing instrument. It's B flat. Clarinet going here. And it's a bit of a challenge to make this work, but you can. Okay, so here we go. There we go. Then we have another bracket for bassoon. Make sure the plus sign goes on. We need for those and horn and F. It'll have its own bracket. Share screen again because I just lost. What happened? Okay. What happened to Muse Score? Oh, Muse Score quit. And this will happen occasionally. So what I was doing was putting all of the brackets on each of the woodwind families. Here we go. And then I was right in the middle of this when it quit. So let's do this, brackets. This is what we want. Bassoon, double click. And the following, or the last one, all right, so we've got all of these, and then if you want to make a square to denote each of these, that's doable. Okay, so you can do that, and that actually looks a little more professional. You can actually go like, okay, go like this. And that sliver of a line is really small. So what we're going to do is boom. And then we're going to click the other bracket, double click, make it go down to the bass clarinet. And then so we get the idea. We get the idea of what's going on with this. You just saw me put the lines on. And then there you go. And just repeat that whole process. I'm just going to finish. You get the idea of what's going on with this. Apparently, I'm having too many problems keeping Muse Score open. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cap it right here. In any way, if you wanted to, let's say you wanted, again, to format the page, you go to page settings. And let's see, which one do we want? Do we want 8.5 by 11? Letter plus, apply, okay. And there you go. So there basically are your templates. You just continue doing the brackets with the lines, and you can always go to the pre-made templates to check to make sure you're doing it correctly. All right. So um, we will have another one of these tutorials in a few weeks, and I will hope to see you all at that tutorial. It'll also be on YouTube Live. Also, if you would like to subscribe to my channels and my mailing list, the links will be in the description below, and I will see you in the next session.